Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Passive Income Lifestyle Series. I'm your host, Travis Watts, the Director of Investor Development here at Ashcroft Capital. In today's episode, what we're talking about is teaching kids about money, 5 tips to help them master the game. Disclaimers as always, never financial advice, not telling you or anyone what to do with your money, for educational and informational purposes only. With that top of mind, so I'm the proud parent of a 2-year-old. And unfortunately, it's going to be many years before I get to have this conversation with my son. So what I want to share with you instead today is what I've done for my 4 nephews over the years in terms of helping them understand finance and investing, in hopes that it can help you, whether you're a parent or a grandparent or an uncle. In my case, these are things I've done to be a positive influence in this area, and I truly believe it's already had a profound impact, and I can't wait to see what the results are over the years. With that, let's dive in. So when my nephews were younger, the first thing I did for them is I bought them books. I started with just one book. This is how I started my personal journey. And I remember reading a Robert Kiyosaki book, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I didn't read that book in particular. It was a different one in that series. But it started to open my mind into a new world of thinking about money and investing, specifically real estate and passive income and the tax advantages that can come from it. But I also remember when I was younger that I was busy, right? Kids are busy. They got school, they got homework, they got sports, they got friends. So the last thing you want to do is pile a bunch of books on them or a big nasty 400-page book or something like that. So I started with one that's really simple. It's 64 pages in length, and it's by author Robert Kiyosaki, and it's called Rich Dad's Escape from the Rat Race: How to Become a Rich Kid by Following Rich Dad's Advice. Very easy to read, and it's labeled ages 6 and up. Very small, fun book for them. The next book that I bought him was How Rich People Think, and I bought him the condensed version, and the author is Steve Siebold. This book is actually 168 pages, but it is a very small book with very large font, and a lot of the pages are just a graphic or a quote or an action item. So realistically, you're probably reading about 50 to 60 pages. So I knocked that book out in a couple days. And even as an adult and as an experienced investor, I got a lot of value out of that book. It teaches you the mindset and the foundation and what the wealthy do as compared to the middle class or the masses. And so this can really help paint the foundation for you or anyone else that you're looking to help. So those are just 2 book ideas. If you want more, you can always reach out to me, travis@ashcroftcapital.com. I can give you a list of even more books. There's literally hundreds of them out there on the topic of finance and investing, but I tend to be a little biased towards real estate and passive income books. So from this point, I began buying specific books for each of my nephews based on where they were at in their particular journey, whether they were starting to work their very first job, or they had questions about a 401k, or questions about credit or credit cards or the economy or what have you. Again, there's literally hundreds of books to choose from, and you can always reach out if you need some ideas in that category. But the logic here was that I wanted to keep the interest level high. So I wanted to ask them, what do you want to learn next? And then find the best resource to plug in. Number 2 is personal finance. I'm a huge advocate about personal budgeting and personal finance, and this has little to do with investing. And the reason I wanted to emphasize this as a primary importance is because when you're starting out, as they are and as I did, with limited amounts of capital, often the highest return on investment doesn't actually come from investing. It comes from the choices you make around your personal finance. And I'll give you a few examples of how this works. Let's say one of my nephews has saved up $1,000 and now they want to go buy something, either because it's a need or a want, whatever. You fill in the blank, doesn't matter. It could be a new pair of shoes, headphones, lacrosse stick, whatever. So if I can teach them how to think about that situation differently, instead of let's run to the mall and buy this item, and think, well, what if I bought it used for 50% less? Or what if I could buy the off-brand for 50% less. Or if I'm willing to wait a little bit, maybe I could put this on a birthday list or a Christmas list and not even have to use my own money to purchase it. Or maybe just teach them that whatever this is may not be that important at all, and their money is better spent or invested elsewhere. Teaching them how to think about these types of situations can be monumental. And it's why so many highly paid people go broke, whether it's lottery winners or celebrities or professional athletes. If you don't have your personal money management down, then there's really no use in investing, because even if you invest and you're successful and you make money, you're going to turn around and blow it and potentially become broke anyway. So you can think about it this way. If one of my nephews had $1,000 and he said, okay, I want to go invest it, and he's going to make a 8 to 10% annualized return, let's just say 10%. Well, that's going to be $100 per year. But if he was going to have to buy something for $1,000 and he could get it at a 50% discount by doing a little research and thinking outside the box, that's a net savings of $500. Said another way, 5 times the return on investment without even having to take the risk of investing in the first place. Or let's say one of my nephews is a little bit older, opens up a credit card, runs away from him a little bit, and he racks up a little bit of credit card debt, and he's paying 17% interest. Well, just to be able to recognize that paying down 17% interest debt may be a better option than investing my money elsewhere, that alone could be gold for his future. Number 3, I set up brokerage accounts for my nephews before they even turned 18. So these were custodial accounts, and I was the custodian. A lot of people don't even know this. You can set up a custodial account for a minor, even if you're not their parent. In my case, I'm their uncle and they're my nephew. You can do this even for friends' kids, so something to think about for kids, grandkids, or anyone else. But there's plenty of stocks and ETFs out there and other investment options that have a very low barrier of entry, right? You might be able to buy one share of a particular stock at $10 or $20 or something like that. You can open up these brokerage accounts often for free with large brokerage houses. The minimum to open them is often very low, maybe $50 to $100 that you need to maintain to keep that account open. And I did this to start training them on the power of passive income. So everything that they invest in offers a monthly dividend or distribution. And so every month they can log in, or every quarter, and they can watch their passive income grow and compound. I also chose a brokerage account specifically rather than, let's say, a college savings account or a Roth IRA, traditional IRA, because it's not dependent on a job. It's not dependent on active income. It's not subject to all the rules of, you can't touch this money till you're 59 and a half, or it has to be used for this specific purpose. They have total flexibility. This is an account they can keep open for the rest of their lives, and they have full discretion on what they want to use the funds for. So if they want to become a homeowner in their 30s, let's say, they can pull money out of that brokerage account to buy a piece of real estate rather than having it locked up for decades on end. And number 4 is gift giving. This was a huge pain point in my life, watching my nephews grow up from the time they were born till they were about 15. I would always try to get them the best toy, whatever's trending, whatever's popular. I wanted to be that cool uncle that got them the cool gift. But the reality was, half the time they didn't even know who got them the gift in the first place. Secondly, the other half of the time, they either lost it or broke it within a year. And so it's something they really didn't value and they quickly forgot, and it was just a pain point for me. So I decided every birthday, every Christmas, every graduation, every one-off special event, I'm going to give you a contribution towards your brokerage account. The money's going directly into that brokerage account. We're going to talk about investing, and we're going to grow your passive income. That was something that nobody else in my family had any interest in teaching or doing. Nobody else to this date has contributed towards it. So it's just been a unique and special thing that hopefully they'll never forget as we keep adding funds to their accounts. Number 5 is mentorship. I'm a big fan of mentors. I've used mentors for many, many years. And the problem with mentorship is A mentor for free can be very hard to find who's willing to give you their time. And if they're paid, they can be very expensive. So I thought, well, why don't I become their mentor for free on an unlimited basis? It's probably the best value I can provide to them because, frankly, I don't have many skill sets outside of finance and what I do professionally and personally here in the real estate and investing game. So every year I make them an educational video on tips, tricks, strategies, real life case studies, lessons learned, things like that. Again, I continue buying them books and resources and materials, and I make it known that I'm always here for you. You can always, I'm a phone call away, I'm a text away, I'm an email away. If you're ready to buy a home, if you want to open a credit card, if you have questions about student loan debt, I'm a guy that can just help you. If I can't directly answer it, I can get you to the right resource. And mentors can be so powerful. In fact, investing in commercial real estate as I do today, and as I've done the last, 8-9 years straight, didn't become a reality for me until I found two mentors willing to give me their time and share what they've been doing for 20 plus years. And it was investing in value add multifamily private placements. And I was sold after seeing the actual results of that, having looked back at time frames like 2008, 9, and 10, and realizing this is a real viable investment strategy. Sometimes seeing is believing. So with all of this, hopefully there was a few practical tips and takeaways. Again, whether you're a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, or there's anyone else you want to share this with, hopefully there's some value to be had, and consider being a mentor for someone else. There's a great quote I'll never forget by Roy Bennett. He says, "Always have a willing hand to help someone. You might be the only one who does." Something to think about here for the week. You're listening to the Passive Income Lifestyle Series. I'm Travis Watts. If you'd like more information, want to take a deeper dive, or have any questions, reach out to me, travis@ashcroftcapital.com. And to learn more about passive income investing in multifamily apartments, what we're up to here at Ashcroft Capital, you can visit ashcroftcapital.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, videos like this, reach more investors like you. Truly appreciate you being here. As always, until the next episode, have a great week, everyone.